This week's episode of Reppin' the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh is sponsored by Torbey Financial. Tawny Torbey has been educating people about insurance and investments since 2002. Torbey Financial's focus is to keep their clients informed to what is going on in the markets and the economy, while helping them pursue their own dreams.
All right, guys. Here we are, repping the state line with John, George, and Josh.
Live.
Hey, we're live. We're live today, so
And we
we're
haven't
happy.
even started drinking the amazing whiskey yet.
I
But
have.
this is our sitting and sipping segment with Torbey Financial. We have Tony Torbey with us here today. We have Paul Fuca. I don't want to say the wrong word. Fuca with us today. Paul Fuca.
How do you not know that guy?
I never say his last name right. That's the problem. So, but welcome, guys. Thank you for being here with us. And how was your week, everybody?
My week was good. I was really looking forward to this. This is our first podcast in person, and so we're all here together. My weekend went smooth. Spent a lot of time with the family. Really got to just hang out at home. It was nice for once.
That's awesome. Yeah. Remember, everybody, this is our first podcast together in person. You can watch the video on YouTube, but remember to subscribe to this podcast, like it, send it to your friends, give us a review everywhere you listen to podcasts. So we're on iTunes, we are on Spotify, we are on Amazon Music, we're on Google Music. If you listen to it somewhere, you'll find us. We're pretty much on every one of those platforms, including YouTube channels.
Yep.
How was your weekend, Georgie?
My weekend was great. It was a 3-day weekend, and I don't know how many steps I took. I literally lived on the couch. I think
I was expecting you like
exercise. I think I took an entire weekend to just unravel, just unwind and do nothing.
Just the veg.
Yep. I did not do much this weekend.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was a great weekend. I needed it.
So how about you guys, Paul, Tony? What did you guys do?
Oh man, we were a little crazy. We had our family up from Kentucky. We threw a big graduation party. My daughter graduated Saturday from Hononegah, magna cum laude. She's going to UNC Wilmington, and we threw a big old bash, and I smoked about 100 pounds of meat.
Wow.
And Josh ate about 90 pounds of it.
But by the time I got there, everything was pretty much gone. I do guess it. The chicken legs were awesome, and the pulled pork. I didn't get the brisket because obviously I got there about 6 o'clock, and I think the brisket went all within an hour.
I did a 20-pound brisket. That was probably the best brisket I've ever smoked. It was about a 26-hour smoke.
Wow.
On the brisket. Yeah. And then we did about 60 pounds of pork and almost 90 chicken legs, 85 chicken legs, 3 different flavors. Turned out pretty good.
Amazing.
And I literally had one piece of brisket that big, didn't eat the whole day. I probably drank a bottle of Weller by myself.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm excited to
Oh,
get into
yeah.
these.
And
That's
we
what
have-
these are about.
the little dog in the background is not Escrow and Archer this week, but it's the
It's
shop
Sal.
dog here, Sal.
Should we introduce
Torbey
him?
Financial.
He's a Doberman
Bring-
Pinscher.
bring him out.
Should
He's
we
a
introduce
Doberman.
Sal? Because he's probably gonna say.
So if you're
something.
watching the video, you're gonna get to see Sal. Sal is an awesome, friendly Doberman Pinscher, and just a gorgeous looking boy.
Shop dog, hangs out with us every day.
Come here. Come say hi, Sal.
So Sal just wants to be out here. Sal smells because we told you guys last week we were gonna have our pizza war
We are.
this week.
Before we
And
get into the pizzas,
we
you do a lot.
didn't-
You
we
do a
didn't
lot.
give up Paul's
Yeah,
weekend.
Paul does a lot of camping.
Paul does a lot of camping. So I spent my Memorial Day weekend down at Timber Lake. We have a permanent site down there
Okay.
with Fifth Wheel. And we're there about every weekend, Thursday through Sunday. We do a lot of drinking, do a little
Where's-
golfing.
Where's Timberlake?
So Mount Carroll, you
Yes.
familiar with that area down there? We're about 8 miles from the Savannah border.
Oh, nice.
So
It's really nice.
we sneak
country
over.
there.
It is. It's hilly. It's played Woodbine Bend Golf Course on Friday, and drank quite a bit this weekend. So it was, and we get to do it all over again in 2 days.
Yeah, 'cause it's a short week.
It's a short
so-
week.
And when this is being aired, you're at the golf, when this airs on Friday, you'll already be there.
I should be at the golf course if all goes well, but yeah, it was a good weekend. We
How
had a
about
lot of
you?
fun.
Well, that's awesome.
We didn't hear about your weekend.
Well,
Yeah, let's hear
my
yours.
weekend was pretty easy going. I mean, I
Oh, yeah,
just got,
Congratulations, 25
yes,
years.
that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was the big
25
thing.
years.
It was our-
That's
Oh,
25th,
I
right?
just celebrated 22 on Friday.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So yeah, 25 years ago on May 31st, the wife said yes. And so we just kind of celebrated all weekend. We Friday was a quiet day. We're still working, but Saturday we went down to Utica for the day. So shot down there. There's a great winery.
Why am I not surprised?
It's always a winery with me. You guys all know
You are,
that.
you're big into wine, aren't you?
My wife and I go to a lot of wine, but my favorite wines are reds that are aged in bourbon barrels. So it's the
Okay.
funniest thing, which that is the thing. But I did hear of a bourbon that's now aged in Merlot barrels.
But that doesn't exist, man.
I
Maybe a
understand
whiskey.
Well, I know, you're
Bourbon
you're a
has to be
Kentucky
aged.
guy.
No,
You're a Kentucky.
but legally, even
To call it
US
bourbon.
government says bourbon has to be aged in New American charred oak barrel. So yeah, that's, so
But-
whiskey,
A whiskey.
it can be
that-
finished in that.
A whiskey that they're doing,
Yeah,
but
but
that's,
they can finish it, but to age it, it has to be New American oak, but they can finish it in anything, for the last 6 months or whatever.
yeah,
So it might be that way.
and it could be, I don't know, I just saw it, I didn't try it, we were running in and out of the place. But there was live music, so down in North Utica, they closed off Mill Street. And there's a bunch of restaurants down there and the one winery's down there and it's called August Hill. And we went to the Hill first. They had a 3-man band that was okay. They weren't amazing. So we sat in the sun for a little bit and said, well, let's go into town. And then we saw a guy playing out in the street there and we sat for the rest of the night listening to this guy play. It turns out his older brother taught Dr. Mike Pillar in chiropractor school. And they were friends, so it's a small world when you get to certain parts of Illinois. I mean, I'm an hour and a half south of Rockford, and the chiropractor I go to is friends with the musician that's at the place I'm
Right.
drinking at, so it's
Right.
just crazy, but had a good time with that, went out to Prime Steakhouse for our anniversary dinner. So if you haven't been to Prime Steakhouse yet here in
Awesome.
Rockford, try it. It
And
was
they just opened up their outdoor.
the outdoor patio, that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons we went, so we went there and did that, and then we had some drinks on the patio over at Stone Eagle, because we like to drink over there sometimes. Just a nice quiet weekend.
That looked good. I saw your Facebook.
Yeah, I
Post
saw
for
your
Prime.
Facebook too, with on an ego with Brent Scott.
Oh, yeah. I don't put anything on Facebook, it's my wife.
You won't find Tony.
You
on
won't find
Facebook.
Tony on Facebook.
So guys, this is the first episode in our series that we are doing,
Yes.
Sittin and Sippin with Torbey Financial.
Correct.
So we're here. We got looks like some Torbey Financial glasses that are engraved.
You could see these if you're watching the
Ah.
video. That's engraved with their logo on it right there.
And,
And I'm waiting to sip on
and it
this
looks like,
deliciousness.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're homemade wood slats for it as well.
So my father-in-law made those.
Nice.
So here's our little tasting setup for tonight.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's quit talking and start sampling.
Yeah.
I
So
agree, man.
Well, one
I'm with
thing though, I want to know, like, so you told us a little bit about this whole setup beforehand with the wood and all like that, but you had a friend of yours make these holders, correct? And
My
with glasses.
father-in-law actually took some old scrap wood from his basement and I went down there and because I said, hey, I'm gonna go get some bourbon staves and let's make some, tasting staves. And he said, I got some scrap wood. So we got the dimensions, we got the glasses, and then he just drilled the holes and charred the wood with a blowtorch and sealed it. And here we are. So I got 40 glasses so we can have 8 people tasting.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's nice.
That's
So we're gonna start doing this here. I'm gonna start doing it once a month at the house.
nice.
cool.
Very
So let's kind of walk through it. What we got?
So I decided to take y'all through a Buffalo Trace tasting. So we're gonna start with Blanton's, which is the first commercially made single barrel bourbon ever made. Elmer T. Lee pretty much brought it to the world. Then we're gonna go to Weller Special Reserve, which is a weeded, and that is supposedly at one time the finest bourbon ever, and I think it even says it on the label. Then we got Weller Antique, which is 107 proof, is my favorite, one of my favorite bourbons of all time. We have a Weller 12, which is very hard to get. It's a 12-year age, and then we have a Weller Full Proof, which is 114 proof bourbon. And I don't know if y'all have ever had any of these, but I figured, you know what, let's go with the bourbon with the Buffalo Trace.
The only one I've had a lot of different whiskeys and stuff. The only one of these bourbons that I've actually had before is the Blanton's. And it was just a small sip and that was it. There wasn't a lot left in the bottle when I got oh, you want to try it? So
I keep a few of these at home at all times. I think I've got maybe 15 of these bottles, about 12 of these bottles. I only have 2 of these, and this is my only one that I'm willing to open, or that has opened, because the other one's an old squatty bottle before they redesigned the barrels, or the
bottles.
The bottle.
And a lot of the bottles look very familiar. And I'll show a bottle before we drink one of these up at the camera here so you guys get a better view as they're all on the table.
I mean, if you want, let's dig in, man. Let's start from left to right. So the first one is Blanton's.
So everybody knows the Blanton's bottle. It's got the racehorse on.
So before you drink it, because once you drink it, your smell is different. So you want to open your mouth and you want to sniff it with your mouth open through your nose. And then just try to get whatever aroma. That's with every one of them. And then when you put it in your mouth, it's called the Kentucky Chew. Jimmy Russell from Wild Turkey invented the Kentucky Chew. You put it in your mouth and then you just chew it 2 or 3 times and then let all your taste buds hit it and then you swallow.
All right.
All right.
Well, here we go.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
There's the first one.
Here's our first.
And each one of them should be about 2 sips. So George just downed it.
Oh,
So did John.
Well, so did Paul.
So did John.
See, I
Paul
take-
did too. So did Josh.
So what I like to do is I take a
He
small
could
sip
sell who's the
and
experienced
let
one.
it coat everything, because your
Yeah.
second sip is always gonna taste different.
Because you opened up all
well,
your
now,
taste buds,
you
opened your
now
mouth.
you tell
I
us.
Now you tell us. We need training wheels, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh, that was delicious.
That
That
was
was
good.
great.
it just warms you right here.
Yes.
That was very smooth.
Very good.
Now that
Now,
we
that's
know how to do
fantastic,
it.
isn't it?
It was.
I'm excited for this.
And if you look, it tells you all, like I printed out all the tasting notes.
The Blanton's is right here.
I don't have the, I don't have the palate or the nose for any of this. Some people do. There is actually, a friend of mine was telling me that, he's got a guy that he knows that was just chosen to be one of the samplers, to pick out Weller and Van Winkle and all that stuff. And you get invited and you have to go through 12 different bourbons. And they don't tell you what's what, but they give you the names of them and what years, and you have to pick them in order what they are. And you have to get them all right. And 12 or 10 different bourbons in order for
There's a
you.
thing like that for wine, isn't there? Like
Yeah.
To be
the
a-
master.
But to be a sommelier.
Someone, yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, so
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Yeah, Mr. Wine.
Sommelier.
So
That's awesome.
we appreciate you kind of bringing this for us, but the real question here is, you own Torbey Financial. How'd you kind of get into that business?
So let's talk while we're sipping, because that's what the whole purpose of this is.
Right. I started back in 2002. A friend of mine actually was in the insurance business and said, you should jump into the business. And at that time I was like, man, do I really want to start my own thing? But then I was at 2 different jobs over 3 years because both companies filed bankruptcy and they were downsizing. So I decided I don't care to cold call for jobs. When I'm 50 years old, I want to be on my way out of the rat race. And so 20 years ago, man, I started going door to door all the way out to Savannah, Mount Carroll. I used to go door to door selling insurance and annuities. And we went from one-man operation, broke for 2-3 years. I went door to door for almost 10 years. And then we grew our operation to almost 600 people. And then we added the security side. We don't have 600 people anymore, obviously. But we added the investment side. So we do everything from stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, life, all that stuff. But it was all from just, you know what, I just wanted a better life for my family and just didn't want to work for somebody else. And as you know, Josh, I'm very hard-headed. This is the way it is. And I don't know that I could answer to someone else. And so I just started door to door. Say, why not?
George,
Bro, I don't know what you got going on right now. but this
that's
is
a
gonna
cow
ruin-
hoof,
this
and
is
that
gonna ruin
stinks.
my pizza, man. This smells like.
I'm gonna
put out a farm.
That is a real cow.
We have a cow hoof eating dog here.
Oh,
Doberman,
it smells like
and it
cow
stinks. Come on.
And I grew up on a farm, so I know.
That's hilarious.
That is.
Speaking of pizza, I think we should start. Let's start with the first pizza.
Yeah, well, the cow hoof is gone.
Well, the cow hoof is gone.
All right.
So wait, let's just.
Oh, we're
talk about
sampling
pizza real
pizzas as
quick.
well.
We're sampling pizzas too. So now you guys had this east of Rockford, West Rockford fight going on.
We did,
Yep.
100%.
And I did reach out on Facebook to the Rep in the State Line group and asked for the best pizza in town. And the only response that we got said Lino's. And we already knew Lino's was coming today, so I decided to represent the northern end of the state line with some Napoli pizza. So we grabbed this today, real fresh, real quick.
Is it Napoli or Napoli?
I say
Napoli.
It's
I say
Nap-
Napoli.
Hey,
Some
you're
people
from
say
New York,
I'm
aren't
from
you?
New York, yeah.
It's
I'm from New York, and we say what we want to say, and that's all there is to it.
We're gonna start with.
So you could start with this, we can end with this. It's your choice, because
No, we'll start. with this.
I am a pizza purist, and you guys both, I don't think will stay pure to pizza. So just
That's
grab a
good.
slice and pass them around. I believe in just one bite, everybody knows the rules.
No, not like our drinks.
George-
We didn't know the rules.
George-
Not like our drink.
We got
George grabs
napkins?
the pizza, and just starts digging in right away.
Do we have napkins?
We do have napkins, yes.
So I'm a purist when it comes to pizza. I just want crust, cheese, sauce. That's how I'm gonna be able to tell if it's a
Really?
good pizza or not. Just to start, the first time you eat a pizza, these guys are adding sausage, he's eating
Yeah.
everything on it. I'm like, yes, I like all the
I want
toppings,
hot jardinera.
but if we're doing,
Can we start eating?
yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
This is
But
Napoli.
if we're doing, just an individual, like we're just trying a pizza to see what a pizza does, you know what I mean?
That's good, though.
I think
That's really good.
That's a solid just cheese slice of
It
pizza.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I will flip this around.
Well, that's nice.
So what do you guys think?
Napoli's always been one of my favorites.
I think I need another bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're ready to move on to bourbon number 2, so.
It is interesting tasting it with just cheese, because I always eat it with pepperoni and sausage. So I don't
100%.
get the full you really get. the
You're right,
flavor.
though. You get the whole flavor of the cheese and the sauce and
Right,
the
and then
crust.
you get to taste the sweetness of their sauce, or if it's bitter, or.
Yep.
If there's not enough sauce, because when they're adding all those toppings on there, they have to adjust how much cheese they put on it, how much sauce, everything. This is
Yeah.
like the purest way to eat
Very
the
good.
pizza they make. That's why I do it this way. All right, and our next bourbon,
We'll go to Weller Special Reserve. So this, I said the finest bourbon, but it's actually was called originally when Weller Sitzel, I think, came out with this. He called it an honest bourbon at an honest price.
oh,
And then they ended up, he ended up partnering with Pappy, or actually Van Winkle, who they call him Pappy. And then Buffalo Trace now produces this for them. But this is their basic offering. It's probably, so this is, obviously everything's retail price. This is about $65 bottle of bourbon.
right.
But if you go to certain liquor stores here in town, it's $250.
Well,
This
is there a
is-
shortage?
There
of
ain't
some
a
of these
sh-
bourbons?
No,
Okay.
there's not a shortage. There's
Just
retailers that
formula.
hoard it. Or it's black market, which is fine, good for all of them. This one here is a $25 bottle of bourbon. Right here, but most people around here are selling it for, good luck to get it under $80 to $100.
And what's this one supposed to smell like?
Well, it's right in front of you, so what is it?
Sweet.
So we're number 2, so
Sweet and unusual.
presence of
floral notes.
caramel, notes of honey, butterscotch.
Caramel.
It's got a smooth finish and a little honeysuckle flair. Tell me if you can catch any of that. Because I might be able to catch 1 or 2 of that, and I love bourbon. I've been drinking it for as long as I can remember.
Remember, it's a 2-sipper, not one.
Two sip.
Yes, 2 sips.
Yeah, we gotta do this in 2.
One bite,
You
2
can
sips.
smell caramel in almost every bourbon, because almost every single bourbon has caramel.
Yes.
That's good. That was good.
I drink it straight out of the bottle during the winter. I got a little, during the winter, I have a little area I smoke cigars. I set it up, and I'll have that bottle, and I drink it straight out of the bottle.
That's got more bite.
But
Yeah,
it
that's-
shouldn't. It should be smooth.
That has more bite than the
I think the
Blanks.
first one was
You know what, though?
myself.
I could definitely, this one is the butterscotch, correct? on the
Yes.
Scotch stuff?
Yeah, you can kind of taste
I
it.
can
in the
taste the
butterscotch.
butterscotch at the end there.
When you know what you're tasting, when you read it, your senses start.
Yes.
Tricking you into.
Otherwise, it's hard.
That's one thing that I learned even with just like tasting different wines. It's always, you need to use all your senses. It's not just your taste buds, but you need to smell it properly. You see it. You can tell the difference of these just with some of their color as well. I mean, this has more of a reddish color to it. It's more clear, depending on which one you're drinking. So like really enjoy each sense and then jump in.
And y'all are
Second one was
welcome.
good.
I mean, once you drink them, if you want to go back and add another flight, y'all can have as much as you want.
And this episode sponsored by what car service?
So that was good.
We are all.
I'm still saying.
I
this
think I
one's
like
winner right now.
Blanton's better.
Blanton's.
Well, Blanton's is again a $65 versus a $25 bourbon.
True.
And I feel like I can taste the difference.
You can, and see, a lot of people don't realize that. People say, I don't like Scotch or I don't like bourbon,
Because they're not drinking the right
but
scotch.
when you, and nothing against Jim Beam, because Jim Beam makes some very good,
Ooh,
like
Jim
one of the
Beam has my favorite.
Bookers.
Nah, Red Stag.
Red Stag.
Oh.
I knew he was
Jim
gonna.
Beam makes some.
I drink.
very
I,
good
I
stuff.
drink it by the bottle,
Really?
straight out of the bottle, by the bottle, nothing to it. Just
So, my sister-in-law, her family are Beams. They're direct descendants of the Beam family. Like her
Wow.
mom's maiden name is Beam, and yeah, like Booker No and all that. So yeah, Beam makes some really good stuff. Wild Turkey, all these people, a lot of people don't realize that. You know, you think of Wild Turkey, you think of Maker's Mark. All they think about is the base offering. When you get into their better stuff, it's comparable to anything out there. Maker's Mark, their cast strength are phenomenal. There are different offerings where they're doing some experimental stuff with them. With the last few years, their 46 offerings are amazing. Jim Beam just came out with this one called, I think it's called Legion, and it's pretty good. And it's basic. Baker's. You ever heard of Baker's 7?
No.
It's like a $60 bottle. It's 107 proof, and it's fantastic as well. So
I know there was a bottle, my mother-in-law had a restaurant and we did a barbecue and bourbon thing a few years back before. She since shut the restaurant down, retired. But one of the bourbons that we sourced in was called Wyoming. And upon doing more research on it, that's made by Makers.
oh really?
So yeah, it was just another brand they had, but it was when you scan the UPC code on the bottle, all the information came up, Maker's Mark, all the stuff. It was exactly the same bourbon in a different bottle, basically.
Okay.
My favorite, one of my favorites right now is Elijah Craig.
Yeah. Elijah Craig's fantastic. So they got Elijah Craig full proof, 130, 137 proof. And I love Elijah Craig. If you get a chance to have you got toasted? That's what I said. If you can get a chance to get toasted, I've got 3 bottles of it, and I wish I'd have bought more. The lady had a case, and I grabbed 3 to be nice so other people could
Yeah,
grab it.
they have toasted. You can get it in town, but they charge like $200 for the bottle.
What? No, I got it for $40
I know.
at Meyer.
Yeah. She's charging 200.
Who's she?
It's in Edgebrook. Cork.
Yeah,
Cork
they're
Hagen
okay.
Spirits?
Those
Yes.
Cork Hagen Spirit.
that is probably the most expensive place in town because they charge their black market.
Yep.
They're charging black market prices for everything because they're the ones that charge $250 for a bottle of Blanton's, which is highway robbery. Not knocking them, they're a great place if you have.
Where would you say the best local place to go to buy whiskeys, bourbons,
Local?
scotches? Yeah.
Man, I mean,
Like if somebody was new to, like, somebody wants to
I mean,
appreciate this and start
Woodman's.
learning how to do this.
it's not a local place, but Woodman's has probably one of the best selections.
Right.
Tally's has a good selection.
Well,
They're not
Woodman's is the
overpriced.
employee owned, it's a corporation, but it's also not.
Yeah, they've got a good selection of stuff.
They have a great liquor store.
You know where you go? Out to Galena. There's a little local place in Galena that's got great selection. He does not overcharge for his stuff. Like to me, if you got a liquor store and why are you overcharged? Why are you charging that much more? You ain't getting it now.
We're just gonna apologize. in advance. Sal usually lays down and he's just
Oh,
now.
Sal, what is
he-
going on, man?
Sal knows there's pizza.
Sal knows
Here,
there's
Sal,
pizza.
Sal
Paul
wants-
forgot
Sal
there
wants
was a
the pizza crust.
podcast today. Come here, Sal. You want a
No
piece?
problem.
So I apologize in advance to all your
Hey, over here.
listeners. Come here, bud.
Well, and we are all about local businesses and
Don't jump over
whiskeys
me,
and
bro.
wines and dogs and all that fun stuff.
Usually he
He's a good dog.
lays right in the bed with me in the office, but I think he's got a lot of excitement going
Oh,
on.
definitely.
Well, I think Sal wants us to try the next pizza.
All right, well,
Yeah.
we're gonna get the next pizza going, and while we're getting that started.
Yeah.
I feel like this is Saturday Night Live skit with those two. Man, let's try those sweaty balls.
Sal.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
From
an
Alec
Alec
Baldwin,
Baldwin.
I think it's
All right,
time
George,
to
what
try
pizza
Can
did
you
you bring
not-
for us today? You got the Lino's pizza.
Can you
correct?
figure out how to open it?
Yes, I just didn't know where the front of the box was. And we're 2 bourbons in, so.
We're 2 bourbons.
We're 2 like half shots of bourbon in, so.
Yeah, Tony had to make sure they
Lino's is next on the list.
So we're doing
Lino's.
Lino's next. I'm gonna
Sausage.
grab a pizza. So it's a sausage pizza from Lino's.
Here's the thing, though. I think last week when we brought this up,
This is not a bad slice.
I don't
the
think
one-
we established the ground rules of
Did you get
pizza
a
more
pizza
than,
pizza?
I went with my favorite,
and that's what I did. I went with my favorite.
and he went with his favorite.
Well, no, I went with traditional
Yeah, which is
pizza.
good.
Did you already eat some of this? Like the other one had like 3 extra slices. with
Well,
fresh-
I'm telling you, this was,
Or maybe I was one of the first ones to get a slice.
this was a small here. There's still more of this one, because I think this is the winner right here, but.
Oh,
I don't know, man. That
Which
one,
one is
that
this?
one wrapped up in
Lino's.
this is
aluminum foil.
Lino's.
Sausage and cheese.
This is
Lino's.
Lino sausage and cheese. So everybody take a bite. Let us know what you think.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's good.
I think Napoli sauce is a little better.
I agree. I think Napoli's. Let me try it without the sausage.
Right, I'm trying to get the pure taste.
I need another Napoli.
I think without the, I think without the
No, no, I'm
sausage,
joking.
Napoli's is better. Personally, that's what I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Napoli's is better. I don't know. This is pretty good.
I do
though.
like the sausage though. I'm a sausage and pepperoni.
The sausage is really good on this pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I find
It's
the
not that
crust
this
though-
is bad. This is fantastic. The crust is amazing. I like the crust on this one better than I do.
But again, though, like you said before we even started recording today, you like New York pizza. You like that. I'm from New York City, and it's a foldable crust, a soft crust. It's like this is. It's crunchy. It's a hard crust, but
The more I eat this, the more I like this one better. But I'll probably, whatever the last pizza is gonna vote for that one, because it's the last one.
Oh, yeah, because that's my favorite.
is that
Mhm.
So
is
now,
it-
to
is
be
it the
fair,
pizza or the bourbon?
I know. The, I do like the crust on this though.
It's soft.
I almost wish we would have had cheese against cheese against cheese.
Mhm.
You know, just to take, because you do get that sausage taste to that, and I think it's phenomenal. But cheese to cheese, I'm gonna go with that.
To me, that's my favorite pizza right there.
No,
sausage.
I get.
So
that.
if you were to order, you would get a large sausage and cheese
Yep.
from Lino's, pick it up.
They have a special, you get the pizza, bottle of 2-liter soda and salad.
Yep,
For,
$15.
used to be, I think it used to be like
It's pretty good.
$8 or something back
I agree. It's a very good piece of
years
pizza.
ago.
So,
Great.
so Tony, let me ask you a question, because like I know you do financial planning with people, you have the insurance, you do all that. Are you considered a financial advisor then, or a fiduciary?
A lot of people call themselves financial advisors. I guess I do too, but I consider myself more fiduciary because we look out for our clients and their best interests, and a fiduciary is looking out for their clients and making decisions on their best interests. So when people ask us, you know, tell me exactly how you invest, well, it all is predicated on what our clients' wants and needs are. So we consider ourselves fiduciaries because we're not commission-based, we're fee-based, so.
Okay, that was my next question, was how
Yeah.
does that work? Because you know, some places you go to, they want to keep buying and selling and moving, because every time they make a movement, there's a commission
Yeah,
involved.
with us, there's no commissions, it's all fees, you pay one flat fee, an annual fee, and then it's extrapolated backwards, so we bill you either monthly or quarterly. But we consider ourselves fiduciaries, because again, from 20 years ago, when I first started in the industry, everything I did was based on education, making the consumer a smarter consumer, helping them make better decisions. And then we always tell them, if you like what we got to say, but you don't like us, we don't need your business anymore, we want it. And so if you have someone else that you jive better with, then go over that way and tell them this is what you want. But that's how we work, is everything is fee-based, everything's based on education. And we are considered fiduciaries because we look out for the best interests of our clients and what their wishes are and what their needs are.
That's good.
Pretty
to know.
awesome, yeah.
Man, I like your questions. Not as much as I like the bourbon and pizza, but
Well, and speaking of bourbon, I think we
I
have
think
a
it's
bottle
time,
today.
yeah.
Oh, it's the next one.
All right,
So
number three.
Number
Oh,
three.
and that's Tony's favorite.
No, it's not.
So-
The next one I thought was.
nah, man.
Oh, this
Weller,
is-
so I just picked up,
This is the Antique 107.
shout out to my buddy in Frankfort, Kentucky. I just picked up 8 bottles of those when I was down there.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I've got a guy that
We
works
did not drink all that.
that's affiliated with me,
Yeah.
works with me out of Ohio, and Ohio sells this stuff all at cost. So this is a $50 bottle of bourbon. However, when my friend said, can I buy a bottle? I'm like, yeah, it's $100, $200 if you want to buy it, or just drink it with me for free, because I don't like selling my stuff. But it's a $50 bottle of bourbon. Y'all go ahead, let's try it. It's the third one in. Tell me what you think, because it's my favorite.
When you breathe in with your mouth open, you really can like
Mhm.
smell the different flavors and stuff that are going into it.
Now, this is the one that says floral notes coupled with vanilla.
Mm.
And what, I didn't even read it yet, but when I took a smell,
And it's gonna have a little burn, because the other ones were only 90 proof. This is 107.
I smelled a little vanilla though when I took my first sniff. I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah, that one's got
That's
some burn
my
coming.
favorite of the three. so
Oh, yeah, dude, it's $50.
This is, I like that burn. That's,
State of Ohio, if you ever get out there, you go in there on a Wednesday, Thursday, they deliver the Weller, and you get this for 25, you get this for 50, you're never gonna find these, because they only come out in October.
He's never this rambunctious.
Yes.
I
That
think
does
I've
have a
learned,
little burn.
George, not to do it.
Did you get that little cinnamon? It says like in your.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you
know,
can taste the
yours.
cinnamon.
A
Yep.
little
You're
bit of
the
cinnamon.
serious.
Yeah, I get the vanilla right up the hip. And then
Oh.
cinnamon off the back of the burn.
this
Yeah.
podcast has the making of like you ever watch that YouTube videos where they eat the hot wings and they talk?
Yep.
And they just get more and more and it's harder for them to concentrate.
So-
You mean this one might go viral?
So what we need to do, since we're doing 3 more of these, we need to pair the alcohol with the food, so bourbon should have gone with barbecue, man, not necessarily barbecue, actually pizza's all right.
Pizza goes well.
Tequila and tacos?
Yes.
All right, next
Tequila
next
tacos.
month, we're gonna do favorite taco.
But sipping tequila, not that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah,
the
no,
cheap
I-
stuff
I've
with the
got-
worm at the bottom.
I've got some, I've
Like
No,
back in college.
No, we're not eating the worm.
no, I got some good sipping tequilas I'll bring in.
Sweet, I like that
So
one.
what do you think? You
That-
like
I actually like it. Like you said, though, it's 107 proof. It's got that kick. It's got that burn.
See, I like the burn. I like most of my
Me too.
bourbons over 100 proof. Like I love the 120, 130s.
I still have to go and say, I really did like the first one the best.
Oh,
so
yeah,
far.
Blends is really good.
I like how Tony and George and John are sitting here just drinking it. Me and Paul were able to take a drink and we'll look at each other and our lips kind of queasel in.
I'm
So
not the
tell me-
biggest bourbon guy, so
so
this
tell
is
me-
good for me.
What, Scotch, what's your favorite Scotch?
Off the top of my head, I'd tell you Lefroy. So it's a very peaty
It
Scotch.
is very peaty. I
Olive
was not as much
Islay.
of a fan of that one.
And I just got introduced to Lefroy PX. You can only get it at a duty free, and we're fortunate enough to be able to travel overseas a lot. So every time I go over, I try to pick up a couple bottles. And one of my buddies introduced me to Lefroy. And otherwise, locally, Lefroy 10 or Lefroy 25 year, it's very peaty. I mean, it slaps you in the face, Pete.
So
Nice.
Cosmo golf outing, not last year, the year before, I won a basket and there was a bottle of Freud in there, the 10. And it sat for almost a year. And I finally said one day, I was like, I should just open this and try it. And I took one small, I just didn't like it. So I've been more than happy to donate that to you.
You know what?
More.
Why don't you do this for our Scotch
I'll
tasting?
bring it here.
Bring that so they can try the peaty, and I'll bring some of the. Because I probably have 40 bottles of
My
Scotch.
favorite to this day is Macallan 18.
Okay, that's a good.
It's expensive. but
Yeah, but it's a very good Scotch.
I have one at the house that is not easy to find, and one of my best friends back in Chicago, he is a distributor, and he carried it for the longest time, and he just got rid of it, or they went to another company, another distributor. It was, oh my gosh. I remember it. I will let you know. I totally just blanked.
And that's George with 3 shots of.
Three.
bourbon.
Three in.
Timinchua. Have you ever heard of Timinchua?
So my buddy Neil, who's like he's my favorite person to drink with up here because he enjoys the stuff that I drink.
Keep them down there.
He has really changed my. I mean, I've always drank Scotch, not always, but I've drank scotch for at least the last 20 years. And he's introduced me, opened up my palates to other stuff that I hadn't really
Right.
jumped into. And man, his scotch palate is ridiculous. I've introduced him to the bourbon. He's kind of opened me up to more scotch. I have 30 to 40 bottles of scotch. I got about 300 bottles of bourbon.
Wow.
I may have 12 bottles of tequila. I mean, you've been to my bar several times, so I mean, my collection's pretty expansive. My brother blows it away. His stuff is ridiculous, but he's down in Kentucky. He's got his own bourbon mule, his son. They go and he calls him the bourbon mule. He sends pictures. It's pretty funny, but anyway.
So, Tony, since you're telling us about like, you know, the bourbon mule and doing research and on different things too, how does somebody research what you do?
It's very easy, actually. You go to, I think it's called financial advice. What is it? It's
Well,
on FINRA.
To check your
Brokercheck.com.
credibility, broker check, and you
Or
can do
brokercheck.org.
FINRA.org.
Or otherwise, you just go to my website or just Google my name. And that's how you get to know who I am. But brokercheck.org is where everybody should go before they hire a financial advisor, because that'll tell you their entire history, how long they've been in the industry, if there's any violations against them, all of the goods, the bads, and the uglies. And so that's how they can check you. Otherwise, but we've been in this town for I've lived here for 22, 23 years. So my name, I mean, I'm not saying I'm somebody, because I'm not, but you can easily Google us, read about us on our website, or ask people around town. But a lot of times, if you want to check the background of someone, you just go to brokercheck.org.
All right. And what states are you actually licensed in to work in?
On the financial side, all of them.
Okay.
So we can work in any state. Once we have more than an X number of clients in that particular state, then we have to file with that state. But we can work with any state. Right now, I have clients in Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee.
Nice. So if somebody was working with you here in Illinois and then they decide they want to move to Florida or Texas, something like that,
Not a
they can
problem.
still hold
Yeah,
on to you,
yeah.
still work with you, is not an
Correct.
issue there.
Yeah, because on the insurance side, we've got clients in 20 states, 25 states, both between PNC and life and health.
Wow.
Yeah, so we can, it doesn't matter where you are, if it makes sense for us, we'll take you on as a client. We interview, just like our clients interview us, we interview them, because there's times where I tell a client it's not a good fit for us.
No, and that's actually a better way to work, because I do the same thing when I'm working with somebody about looking to list their home. When we sit and meet, I'm like, I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing
Absolutely.
me, because I might not be the right fit for everybody. And
Correct.
you feel the same way with your
Oh, yeah.
business, obviously.
15 years ago, I didn't. 15 years ago, man, I wanted everybody. You walk
Heartbeat
in
to
that door.
paycheck.
Huh?
Heartbeat to paycheck.
Yeah, but now to me, it's selective. You know, we want to make sure that we're good fits both ways. I've had clients that I've turned away because they want to make trade. Hey, if I call you, I want to make a trade today and sell. I said, we don't do that. I'm not a day trader, for my clients, because it's just too risky. We don't get involved in that. That's
You have
something
to do
if
a
you want to do it.
long-term strategy. to work with
Absolutely.
somebody. To
Absolutely.
build wealth, not, you want to day trade,
Yep.
go open up a
Once-
Ameritrade account
Yep.
and put some
Correct.
money in there and play.
There you go. Our job is to figure out what your goals are, and let's get a portfolio in place, review it every 6 months, maybe every year, depending on your assets and what your intentions are, and then let's run with it.
I think that's
That's it.
kind of how we are here in the whole office.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are here in our office, here in Loves Park, and even in Vision, me and Paul on Vision side, we do the same thing with our clients. When we first sit down and meet with them, we're talking on the phone, we go through our checklist as well as they go through their checklist, right? There might be a time where, you know what, you're just not a good fit for our agency, and that's okay. It's okay not to be a good fit for our
Yeah.
agency.
When
And
Torbey
so-
partnered in with Vision, that was the one thing that I loved is they didn't sugarcoat it. They were on, it was, you knew that they were going to do right by the client. And if that meant they lost the client, then so be it. And if the client said, nope, I want to take a shortcut here and here and here. Well, we're not going to take you on as a client, or you're going to sign these forms that says we offered this and you denied it. So that way, because there's always claims, and when those
Right.
claims come in, they're protected.
And for full disclosure too, like I personally am a client of Vision Insurance. I mean,
Yep.
my kids' cars, my house, and Josh is my agent. So, I mean, I'm happy with the service I get. I know when I need to call, and there was a time that we were.
Josh is a badass. Can
We
I say
were-
badass?
You can say
I
badass.
just
We
said
were,
it twice.
we were bouncing cars back and forth, and like I had, like, you know how it is, you have teenage kids with cars. You got a car, then they sell a car, they buy another car. I must have called you like 4 times in a week, changing policies. And it was
Okay.
just like, but every time you answer the phone, you got it taken care of. So I appreciate
And
that.
I will speak to the end of it, that what he says is absolutely correct, because Josh interviewed me and did not take me on as a client.
No,
I was not a fit at the time, and they
but
didn't-
we're coming up on the 3-year mark
Yep, so-
of his claims and some stuff that kind of happened, you know, in the late, 2018, 2019 times. And at the time, it wasn't a good fit. And now, as time goes, we're gonna, circle back. Just like we're gonna circle back to this,
Number 4.
to number 4.
Bourbon.
No, wait, hold on. Before we do your 4th, you said this is the hardest to find. Is it the best?
I don't know, it's these two here are hard, the hardest to find. There's more people that have tried this than have ever tried this, so.
All right, so we're gonna go with the 4th.
I think Weller Foolproof's only been out for about 3 or 4 years. I may be wrong, but I've gotten my hands on more bottles of this than I've ever, this is only like my 4th or 5th bottle of this, and I probably have had 15 bottles of that.
So we're looking at right now the Weller 12 year. age
Weller
12 year.
12 is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Weller 12, age 12 years, and that's. ooh,
That is,
cream corn?
Cream corn, toasty vanilla.
so
Cream corn.
that is one of the most coveted bourbons in the Weller family. That is out. Like there's two other Wellers I don't even have because I've never gotten my hands on them.
I can really smell that cream corn.
Can you smell the cream?
No, I can't smell the cream
I can't
corn.
smell cream corn.
I
Do
can't
you,
smell
do you
anything.
smell the almonds or the toasted vanilla?
I can smell the burn coming.
I smell vanilla.
So
I
that's-
smell vanilla every time. Every time it says vanilla.
That is not.
It's
burnt
not
at all.
burning.
You gotta
And
realize-
this is, and it's an oaky finish.
Yeah, and it's-
That's
all these are very heavily weeded because a lot of bourbons are either rye or they're just, with the corn, but these are
Ooh,
weeded.
that is
Ooh.
smooth. Wow, George.
I'm impressed.
Wow.
That was really smooth.
Now, the way you smell
You
that.
can
the way
almost,
it
it's just
goes
like
down.
water. I mean, this is so smooth. Am I right? This is,
100%.
you gotta
I didn't-
realize this
I
is
didn't-
also 90 proof. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's 90 proof versus 107. But this stuff is so smooth that, I mean, you drink the whole daggone bottle without even realizing.
That is smooth.
That could be a problem.
That's see, that's
That
what I
is
like
that is the
about-
problem.
That's what I like about my scotches. It
A nice
depends.
aftertaste.
Yes.
Sorry, no, this does. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, about your scotch.
With to Minshul, the one I was telling you about, I have a 18-year age, and it goes down so smooth, but it is absolutely phenomenal. I would say that it's pretty close second to McAllen.
Really?
Wow.
And it's not like you Google it and there's not many places that carry it. It's hard to find. Where
Well,
McAllen, you can
when we
get
have that
Yeah.
scotch station, we have to bring that over.
it to Minshul.
Yeah. Have to try it.
For sure.
So you
Well,
saw it. Sal's ready for
I'm
that.
Should we
excited
try
for
our third
I'm
and
excited for
final
this one
pizza?
just because it's been wrapped up in Reynolds wrap for the last.
I'm excited about this one because it's probably
Like,
been.
Josh had this pizza wrapped in aluminum foil,
Since yesterday.
like trying to keep it warm.
I
And
tried.
This is a meat lover's pizza, right?
Yep.
This
Meat
has
lovers.
every
Oh,
meat
here we
on it.
go.
This is
And this is from Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe's.
This is
So we did
Giuseppe's on the west side.
Napoli's
Napoli's on the north.
on the north.
We did Lino's on the east.
And now Giuseppe's on the west.
On the west.
And I'm
Yeah.
excited because it's been years since I've had Giuseppe's. Is it still
Well, I can
over off
see
North
right from
Main?
the beginning here, the
On the west
crust
side,
is
Yeah,
a little thicker.
North Main and
North Main, Halsted.
Halsted. Yes,
Yep.
right behind the
It's
wall.
behind the
Yep.
Walgreens
Yep.
on Halsted.
So I can tell right off the bat, the crust is a little thicker, but maybe that's because they have like
Set.
10 different types of meat on this thing.
Well, that's the other thing is it's got all that meat, so it's gonna be a different flavor.
Oh, much different.
Sal's gonna
Well, that didn't work out.
definitely think about.
The first note I get is bacon,
Must be a meat lover.
Then,
and then ham.
the
It's like
problem
bacon
is,
and ham right off the first
it's
note.
been sitting here for a while.
Oh, I love it cold.
Do you?
So, will you
So you
bet.
grab me a piece?
No,
of
no,
that,
this
Josh?
is very tasty.
That right there.
But
Sal.
this is my problem with that. There's so much meat and
So
everything
much
else, I
going
don't
on.
taste any sauce.
I was gonna
Like
say.
if you ask me, I'd say there's no sauce on this pizza.
That's good though.
Oh, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
I agree, almost like there's no sauce.
it's almost like it's just like
I
a meat and
almost
cheese
wish
sandwich.
We would have done 3 of the same
Yep.
because there is a lot of meat going on in that.
That's lovely though.
That's right up your alley, Paul.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Paul loves his meat.
Oh, I love my meat. especially,
Sausage.
Disclaimer, this show is not for children.
It's the bourbon
as
talking.
we're four in.
4 shots of bourbon in, and here we go. At least we have, at least it's a very substantial pizza to help absorb some of the bourbon.
Very good.
It's good.
All three of them were fantastic,
Yeah.
actually.
So-
So y'all picked 3 of the best pizzas in town.
And I would
I think
think
we
that's
did.
probably what it was. So it doesn't matter which side of town you live on, if you're north, east, or west. Like, I guess we have to go south, like head down like Rochelle or something to find pizza if we want to see. Is there a pizza place that
There
is
is.
open?
Should we ask Sal what he thinks, or do you just like them all, bud?
I think Sal probably would like a little piece of this meat lovers. He probably. Easy.
If I were to go and order pizza, this is what I'm getting every time.
So you're a meat lovers guy.
This is what I would pick.
Giuseppe's.
Giuseppe's Meat Lovers.
And I get that. And like when we order pizza at our house, I like cheese and mushrooms. That's something I like on pizza. I just like the flavor combination. My wife always gets cheese and sausage. Kids always eat just plain cheese. You know what I mean? When I go somewhere though, I see a Meat Lovers or even like an Italian beef pizza or something like that, I dive right into them because I like them a lot. It's just try to get something that more people eat in our house.
Oh, yeah.
I love thin crust, and there used to be a place, I don't even know if it's still open. It was up in Beloit. It's called Tilly's. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. Years ago, 20 years ago. I think they're still around.
Is it a
They-
bar?
Yes.
Yeah,
it
dude, they
is.
have great, it's like a
Yes,
yes.
yes. It's
We
like
were
an
there a few
old
months
bar,
ago.
yes.
It's awesome.
And they have the best thin crust pizza if you guys like pizza. Problem is, it's a little drive. For you, it's
No,
pretty
mine
close.
5
Yeah.
minutes away, 10 minutes away.
I'm a thin crust pepperoni and maybe pepperoni and sausage. That's how I like it.
Yeah, it was good.
That one.
Man, I eat it all. It don't matter to me. I can't do
And
tombstone.
just for you, John,
Yes,
there was no squares. They were all triangles.
because I still don't get that.
Being from New York.
From New York,
Yeah.
I mean, like.
You don't
yeah,
get a
we
big
didn't have any
square.
squares.
No
Nope,
square
it was all-
pizza.
It was all slices of pizza, so.
That's why they call it a pie, you know? It was a slice
That's
like
how
a pie.
our oldest daughter, she's down in Texas now. She hates square pizza. She's like, anytime she comes up here, she wants Napoli's pizza, and she wants Napoli's. I think she wants Napoli's, and she wants it pie cut. She doesn't want squares.
Right. Well, do they cut it like that in Texas too? They do the bar cut?
I think
that's what they
everybody
call
does.
it?
Is it the squares or the bar cut?
Yeah, it's like tavern style. They
Bar
call it.
pizza?
And They call it tavern style when they cut it up into little squares, like, and that freaked me out when I first came here, because it's like, well, how do you know how much pizza you ate?
You
I
don't.
mean, I could eat half a pizza without realizing with these little appetizers. You know, it's a lot harder to eat 4 slices of pizza than it is to eat like all those little squares.
Y'all already tapping this last one? Oh, y'all still eat.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, we're ready for the last one. I mean, now this is the treat though, because this is the, like you said, it's like one of the rarest ones to find.
Well, it's the rarest of these 4 Weller, I would guess. The Weller 12 is pretty rare too to try to get. These other 2 come out every week. You just good luck finding them up here because every liquor store manager hoards them and does whatever, which, hey, good for them. Do whatever you
But how
want.
many hour drive is it to get to Lexington?
Well, you can't get them in Lexington.
No, you can't.
No, none of these have I gotten because of well, this was Frankfurt because my buddy hooked me up, but my brother, my wife's cousin gives me some of my highest end bourbons because he's a liquor distributor and he'll connect me with whomever's getting them, and then I'll go in there and buy them when I know that they're getting them. Or he'll pick one up for me.
All right.
And we
There
just
we
do we
go.
show this
This is,
bottle?
yeah, you might want
Yes.
to show that one.
So this is the foolproof.
And he just opened it.
We
Just
did-
opened it.
and
Got cherries, vanilla, caramel.
Tony opened this just for us today. So this has been sitting in the collection. And you don't want to let it go to waste.
No, I
just
just-
collecting dust.
We just finished, my buddy's 50th birthday. We just finished, and I took a bottle unopened and finished the whole bottle down there.
George is already done.
Vanilla, dark cherries, caramel.
It's 114 proof.
Oh, whoa.
It's gonna be a little hotter.
Yes, it has a
Nice
creme
kid.
brulee and chocolate finish.
Oh, that's definitely burns.
Wow.
But you can taste that.
Wow, that really burns
cherry.
after
And you
it
can
goes
taste
down.
that creme brulee. I mean, you can really, now that you know what you're tasting, you can really taste it. Can you not taste it?
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
I'm a vodka guy, Tony.
How
So
many proof is this one?
114.
114.
That's really good.
It is, isn't
You
it?
can
is-
feel,
this
you
is
feel it
my-
at the end on your tongue.
This is my winner right here.
The 12. No surprise. I love it.
That
I
has
love
got
all
some
of them.
light going down.
Wait. I'm sorry. This is the smooth one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my.
That one kicks you in the butt.
Now see, and maybe it's like a purist way of doing it. I get, we drink out of these, you drink it at room temperature like that. I always like all my whiskey regardless, a little bit ice. I'm not saying like pour it over rocks, you know, what I mean, like one ball or a couple of cubes just to open it up a little bit.
Jimmy Russell, master distiller at Wild Turkey, said, "We don't care how you drink your bourbon, just as long as you drink it." I'm gonna tell you, I don't care how you drink your bourbon if you bought it, but if you're at my house, you're gonna drink it the way I tell you to drink it.
Oh, I can attest to that. I ended up at Tony Torbey's house on Halloween, and he gave me a glass, and I said, "Oh, can I have some ice?" Nope.
Well, he had a Pappy 15 here. I
Yep.
think it's what it was. And he wanted ice. I'm like, no, if you're gonna take a sip of it, I'll let you have a sip, but you're not gonna put it on ice.
Yep. So I did not.
But if you buy your bourbon, drink it any way you want. But you also should respect if someone is giving you a sample, drink it the way they, because I feel that drinking it neat, you truly taste all the flavors. It doesn't get watered down. If you want to put like a little dropper, like one little drop of water, that's one thing, opens it up. But otherwise, you're diluting it with ice, and most ice has got all these chemicals and who knows what it's.
Impurities.
Yeah, I mean, so that's how I feel.
I don't think any of those needed ice.
So, Tony, if somebody wants to be treated as your client as well as you treat your bourbons, how do they get a hold of you?
That's a great transition. Transition king over there.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's easy. We're right here, Loves Park, right by Windsor Lake. You can go online, torbeyfinancial.com. You can email me at tony@torbeyfinancial.com. Call me. Get a hold of any of y'all.
Which phone number? Tom?
I really don't, 815-255-9852. It's my direct line.
There you go.
Or our office is 815-282-3480. Our 800 number is 800-349-1484. I don't
I
use that
wouldn't
anymore.
know that one.
And all these numbers and ways to get a hold of Tony or Vision Insurance will all be in the comment section underneath here in the podcast or on YouTube. So
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me and just have a tasting, come on. We'll do it right here at the office. We'll talk business and we'll do a tasting as well.
What was your favorite?
me personally,
Yeah.
I have to say it was our last one.
Okay, Josh.
I think I'm gonna stick to I like the Bland's.
So the Weller Foolproof for me was, I mean, I enjoyed the flavor of it. It did give me a little kick at the end, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be at 114 proof.
Yeah. I personally like the first one, the Blanton's. Yeah, that's
I'm going with the 12-year.
And see,
12-year was my next
I
one.
go antique, foolproof, 12-year Blanton's, and then Weller. I've never been, no, I'm not gonna say never. I'm not a huge Blanton's fan. Like, I think for the dollar, you go get Eagle Rare for $40, $35 over Blanton's, and you put them side by side, you'll pick Eagle Rare. I like Blanton's, but because of how hard it is to get and how much people want you to pay for it, to me, it's no longer as good of a bourbon. It's not $100 bottle of bourbon. It's a $65 bottle of bourbon, and it is fantastic. But 65, based on cost, 65, this is pretty much the most expensive retail. 65, 25, 50. This is 65, and this is about 65. Heck, I think this is 40. I think Weller 12 retail is $40. But black market, this is like 400. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Because they're creating a shortage.
I have it.
Well, the shortage is supply and demand. It's kind of like one of my clients came in today and paid $5,000 more for a car than
All right, here we go.
MSRP.
Weller 12-year, $40.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
Weller
$40,
antique,
50,
50. Weller foolproof,
65.
50.
Oh,
And then what's this one? Special reserve,
yeah, 20.
23.
Yeah, I paid 25 after
And then
tax.
Bland's is the last one. Let's
Yeah.
look it up.
65, should be 65. But all these are very reasonably priced bourbons Black market, they're outrageous. You should never have to pay $250 for that bottle.
Which,
blend.
wait, which one is that? Blends what?
Just single barrel.
Single barrel.
I didn't bring the, I have gold and I have foolproof. Foolproof would knock you on your ass.
Single barrel.
I got some foolproof back there if you want, but it's 133 proof.
We'll save that for another day.
50.
Should be a
$50.
$50 bottle.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, this,
50, 59, depending on the.
this
state.
bottle has become a collector's item. Everybody wants this, they want the style of the bottle, they want the horse on top, they want, I mean, I've seen these bottles empty selling online for $45 for an empty
Seriously?
bottle, yes.
Wow.
I throw all mine away.
So if you want to get these and put them on like Marketplace, go to Tony's house and
have
check his garbage.
You can have
Call me, you can have
Or
them.
get a hold of me, we'll put them
And
on
as far as
Facebook.
pizza, it sounds like
It sounds like they were all winners.
great. They're all winners.
I'm gonna say my favorite was the first cheese, man.
Monopolies.
Napoli's was pretty awesome. And they were all fantastic, but if I have to vote, I'm going with Napoli's just because it was so clean and I
It was
don't know,
just
it
a
just
pure
had so,
pizza.
it was just, but everything else was, for me, was kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, by putting all that other stuff on it was, you manipulated.
It was
the flavor.
overkill.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was overkill.
And
It's
they
a
were
lot,
like,
yeah.
that was all of them were awesome. I wouldn't push any of them away.
So
Which
the pizza
Napoli's?
wars will continue. We'll have to redo this with 3 cheese pizzas.
Napoli's
John, which Napoli's did you get that?
That was the Chesney Park one,
Chesney Park.
because I'm
There
in
is one
Roscoe,
right
so
up
yeah,
on-
there's one right here in
so
Lowe's
right here,
Park,
just right up the street.
which I should have ordered from there, realizing it's so close to you, but I went to the one in Chesney Park and then drove down here.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We're not gonna.
I'm not gonna fault you for it.
Yeah,
I know,
you're
it's so
you're okay.
hard.
Yeah, all three were great.
So great week, great episode.
I've got more questions for Tony.
Y'all do this every month? Every week?
Every
Y'all
day,
do it
every week.
We do a podcast every week. So again, this is coming to you right now. It's Friday. The new episode drops every Friday at 1:00 Central Time on iTunes, on Buzzsprout, on Amazon Music, where you find podcasts there, on Google,
YouTube.
on YouTube. It's everywhere. We share it on our Facebook pages, so you can find it
Nice.
if you want to watch the video or listen. But and all we ask of you guys, if you enjoy the content, like it, subscribe to it wherever you're watching it, leave us a review. And if you want to add something to it, if you think there's a better bourbon, if you think there's a better pizza, if you want to get a hold of any of us, just leave it in the comments. We will be checking. We get back to you and we'll go from there. I mean, I've had people still asking about tacos again. So. you
Well, I think
never
we're
know.
gonna do tacos when we do the tequila tasting.
Yeah,
Tequila
we're
and
Are we doing
tacos.
tequila and tacos, or should we do like tequila and sushi?
No,
Tequila and sushi?
Man, there ain't nothing bad with, or is that sake and sushi?
Sake.
Sake and sushi.
Yeah, we gotta do sake and sushi. There's
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one, we gotta do something with scotch. What goes well with scotch?
Eggs. Scotch eggs.
No, we will not be
Haggis.
doing scotch.
We'll be
and
doing
eggs.
haggis.
Haggis, no, that's.
That's funny.
No, but seriously though, Tony, one last thing I want to ask you though, seriously, like, what kind of tax implications do we have when we invest with you?
None, because when we move money, so let's say you're moving money from your current advisor, we do what are called ACAT. So there are account transfers that go like for like. So if you've got ABC mutual fund, we move it over as ABC mutual fund. It stays exactly the same. So that if it's non-qualified money, which means it's money that you put in there after tax, then there's your cost bases are still there. Everything comes over in kind. So there's no tax implications whatsoever. If it's qualified money like 401k, 403b, or even like a TSP or
Which
anything
means
like
we
that.
haven't paid tax on that money yet.
Correct.
That was
Or any-
pre-tax
yep,
dollars.
or any IRAs, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we transfer it over in kind or we tell the advisor, the current custodian, to sell everything and move over the cash because it stays in the same vehicle, the IRA vehicle. We move it over and there's no tax implications. So we do everything to minimize tax. That's the whole purpose. Is doesn't make sense for you to move money, then all of a sudden get hit with a $30,000 tax bill because you got short-term or long-term gains. And that's the case. We just tell you, just hold on to it. But yeah, we don't mess with we try to make sure that everything is, like for like, so the tax implications are low or minimal to none.
And then something I know a lot of people always ask, is there a minimum investment to get started?
Yeah, 2 million.
I'm out.
We don't necessarily have a minimum. We look at every case because I just started up a $4,000 IRA, $3,000 IRA for a client of mine's daughter. However, if you just walk in and you want to put $200 a month, that makes it tough because the minimum is not necessarily set just by me, but the firms that I work with, because we're independent. So I work with Axos, which is the parent of E-Trade. We work with Schwab, we work Fidelity, we work with Vanguard, we work with all of these, TD Ameritrade. They have minimums. And what happens is the smaller the amount that you have, the higher the portfolio fees are. They can be upwards of 1% that they're charging you, not my fee, the portfolio fees, because you go to Vanguard.com and do it yourself, you're limited on what you can invest in if you have less than $10,000. So I don't necessarily say we have a minimum. If someone said, what is your absolute minimum? I would tell you 50,000 because I'd even go 25 because at 25,000, most portfolios are open for you that we can work with. You get below that, it just makes it hard and we can't just put you in anything that we would want. We're a lot more limited. So right now, I would say 25 to 50,000. Hopefully one day I can tell you 2 million, but we're not at that level yet.
Just did.
Well, that sounds good. So $2 million or less, $2 million or more.
No.
All right, well, that's good.
Which one is it? I could tell you got 5 shots. $2 million or more or less.
No,
Less or
we're
more.
25,000 or more. We don't cap it.
You said $2 million or less.
But we understood you,
$2 million or
John.
more.
That's the thing. We all understood that.
Well, he doesn't want to limit himself to $2 million. You know, so I'm saying we'll take 2 million or less. We'll take 2 million or more.
Yeah, my smallest client is again right about $3,000, and my biggest client is worth about 15 million. So I mean, we have a pretty big range.
All right, that's good to know.
That's the bourbon talk.
All right.
That's the bourbon.
It is.
That is the bourbon talk.
Recap real quick of last week's festivities. How did our Rivets do?
The Rivets went 1-1. They won their season opener. They lost their second game. The Beloit Sky Carp had a great weekend. They went 4-1 on the weekend, playing a doubleheader on Friday. Took both of those games. I was going to schedule at the Sky Carp, and they're playing really well baseball right now. So any of you guys, if you go out and you catch a game, get any photos or anything like that, send them on in. We'd love to talk baseball with you guys.
I will be at a Sky Carp game next Thursday, but it'll be after we record our podcast, so I'll have to give you an update the week after.
Perfect.
Very good. So this is airing on Friday again.
Well, it's
So-
Friday right now, yes.
Yep. So it's Friday right now, and it's Friday 1 o'clock. Well, right now we're closer to 2 o'clock, but if you guys tune in at 4 o'clock Friday to WRAX, you'll see me live being interviewed. I'm kind of nervous because I don't know what they're going to ask me, but I'm excited at the same time.
Wow.
So
Is that from the little article I just saw on Facebook the other
that
day?
is
All right. For those that don't know, my good friend here, George Kraskavich, is the new president of the State Line Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, guys? Any last minute things? Paul, you want to throw anything in?
I'm feeling pretty good right now.
All right. Well, we got like a slice of each pizza left here, so we'll divvy that up.
Full
with Dawn
disclaimer,
and-
we'll sit here for a while and enjoy our
Exactly.
My wife's
Have some
picking me
water,
up.
eat some more pizza.
Sal wants some more
I'm
pizza.
walking home.
Calling
I'm
you
walking
work.
home.
Oh, wait.
Your car is
My
self-driving.
car's self-driving.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right, guys. So remember, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and just let us know if there's anything you guys want to talk about while we are repping the state line.
And we'll see you next week.
See you all next
See you
week.
guys.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.